The lane assignments for event number 77, the men's collegiate second varsity 8 grand final. Lane 1, Cal A. Lane 2, Harvard University. Lane 3, Cal B. Lane 4, Cornell. 5, Stanford. And 6, University of California, Davis. And the crews are away from the stake boats. And we're beyond the 100-meter breakage rule, and Cal A in lane 1 is blasted out to a 4-seat lead over their training partner Cal B. Harvard's right there going toe-to-toe for that second spot. In fact, Cal A in lane 1 has an 8-seat advantage over Harvard. Harvard with a 2-seat advantage over Cal B. Then back to Cornell, then Stanford, then UC Davis. But my goodness, that second varsity 8 in lane 1 almost has open water as we approach the 250-meter mark. Really, really leaning into those oars, pushing off those footboards. They now have open water over Stanford. Once again, in lane 1, the Golden Bears of California, their A boat with open water over Harvard, who's in lane 2. And now Stanford, check that. And now Cornell has the 3rd position over the Cal B boat. And then it's Stanford, and trailing is UC Davis. Coming to the 500-meter mark with open water, it's California in lane 1, followed by followed by Harvard in lane 2. And then it's Cornell, then the Cal B boat, and then Stanford in that 5th position, and in 6th spot is UC Davis.
So on times from yesterday, the fastest boat in this race is crew in lane number 2, Harvard. Closely tracked by Cal A, who did 6 minutes. Harvard did 5:58. Then a bit of a gap back to Cornell, who did a 6:04. Then a gap further back to Stanford and Cal's B boat at 6:10. And UC Davis out in lane 6 are going to have their work cut out today because their time yesterday was 6:27. So this should be a little more processional than the last race, which had crews together who did at times much of a muchness. We will see here whether Harvard's strategy of just marking the cruise to the 1,000 and then putting in a big effort in the 3rd 500 is going to be replicated in the second varsity event.
Our start area announcer is Jim Jorgensen. Jim is a former UCLA and Orange Coast College coach, and the only reason I point that out at this time is the fact that normally a coach does not get that impressed with something that they've seen numerous times before, but Jim was really astounded at how quickly the Cal A crew jumped out on this, and without regard to the fact that Harvard had a better time overall in the heats, it appears that Cal A is going to try to run them into the ground, so we'll see how that strategy works out. Cornell in 3rd position, Cal B is dropped back to 4th, then Stanford and Davis on the outside, finishing out the lanes 5 and 6. But an impressive start by the California A crew, with Harvard trying to mark them as they move along, and then the Cal B and the Cornell crews are hanging in there, and falling back is the University of California, Davis.
Yes, you could see Harvard starting to make their move just before the 1,000, and they've actually started to move back a little bit on Cal. I'd say the distance is probably about half a length at the moment, whereas it had been more than that previously. We'll see how Cal in lane 1 resists this charge coming from Harvard.
Interesting to watch the strategy in this race. In an earlier race, as we mentioned, Harvard kind of laid in the weeds until they had the opportunity, and then they kicked it in and came up with the victory in that one. So we'll see, as Charles mentioned, if this is going to be a repeat of that.
The distance is down to about 1/3 of a length now. Cal 1/3 of a length over Harvard.
In lane number 1, the California A crew on the lead, Harvard in 2nd spot, but they're beginning to close. Then out to Cornell, seems to have the best of the Cal B boat at this time. And then Stanford on the far outside. The only crew that is a bit out of touch at this time is Davis.
And the distance is now down to just over a canvas. Harvard are really sustaining their charge, and Cal are trying to hold them off.
And that will be pretty much the vernacular, holding them off, because the Cal A boat, as we mentioned earlier, got almost open water off of the start of this one, and ever so slowly and steadily Harvard has been moving up on them. Harvard is out there in lane number 2. This is California A crew along the shoreline in lane number 1. Outside, Cornell has eclipsed the California B crew, and then farther outside it is Stanford trying to get into the hunt with Davis on the trail.
It's down to about 3 feet now, maybe a bit more. Cal are holding them off at the moment, but here come Harvard.
California in the blue shell and the blue jerseys with the crimson of Harvard on the outside in the gold shell, and that is the race that's shaping up, because those two have now opened some water back to California B has made a move on Cornell, with Stanford trailing on the outside and Davis. Here they come with California A on the shoreline. It is Harvard trying to get up there, but they may have run out of race room here, as California continues to hang on to about a 5-seat lead as they are on the shoreline, and they will approach the finish line, the apparent winner in the men's collegiate second varsity grand final. It is the California A boat with about a 6-seat lead over Harvard at the finish line. Finishing in that apparent third position would be California B, then Cornell, outside to Stanford, and Davis trailing. Well, it was interesting. The strategy didn't work out for them this time.
Yeah, Harvard threw everything at Cal. Cal took it, held it, and then in the final 250 meters they pushed away again.
And you can see, despite the elation for the Cal crew, the exhaustion after going that 2,000 meters and having to go hard the whole way, as I'm sure that they saw Harvard pushing on them the entire distance. But I would say in the last 100, 150 meters, California wore Harvard down and wound up getting that first place trophy.